Okay, I think this is part 4. It's Saturday, 4:30. I'm up here by Forest Homes. I'm right before you go into the K-rails here. I am pointed south. This is kind of the problem area up here. Wilshire Peak's up there, but see how it's trying to back. It was way high on the ridge, but see how it's kind of maybe mid-ridge now? And it's kind of backing some drainages up behind. There's like a bunch of finger ridges that come together here, and it's kind of back over like a little finger ridge right there in the middle. You can see that right there. But this is one of the problem areas up here. It's putting up a little bit of smoke, not a lot. It's kind of a little hazy up here down below in the lower canyon, and down on Highway 38 going back toward Mentone. It's not as smoky. They're having problems down by Thurman Flats' picnic area. They're in there now trying to save that picnic area down by the creek, the pavilion and the picnic tables. And there's also a problem up above Forest Falls on 38, like halfway up to Angelus Oaks, mile marker 16, I'm calling it. Right there, that's the bigger plume over there. In fact, that's where I'm going to head now. I'm going to head over there. And I'm going to go down and try and do a live broadcast here at the bottom. Verizon bought in a portable, we call them crank-ups. Ham guys call them crank-ups. They're basically a little cell site on a trailer, and they've got a mast with a cellular antenna, and then it's got a sat dish. It downloads and uploads off the satellite, and then it's basically a little mini cell network. It's I was told we got the low power one because the high power ones are already out. They're already deployed at fires. This is Verizon, so I don't know if AT&T is going to do it. Maybe they can bring in one of their high power units and the AT&T people can talk. Cal Fire asked them to bring it in because they really need comms in this canyon right here. They talked about another Verizon one coming up somewhere in here to try and light up the middle of the town here. It's a little box canyon and with a lot of finger ridges coming down it, so it's like the worst nightmare for trying to get communications. You need like 10 of them up here to cover the canyon very well. But they're going to try and get another one up here to help the mid canyon, town here. So it'd be nice to get string 3 or 4 of them up here. The firemen really need it in case, they do a lot of work on their cell phones, coordinating, and they can feed video. They can, they really need it up here. So this is by Forest Homes, the private Christian retreat up here. They, the churches come up here and do their summer retreats. There's a big swimming hole over here. It's beautiful. They've got a lot of they look like condos, almost like ski condos built up here now. So, and you can't rent them as a public. I asked if a public company or big group of people could come over, but it's kind of church based. It is church based. They allow other churches to come up and rent it out, but it is really beautiful up here. But right now it's all smoky, and hopefully will get this out right here. Down lower on Prospect and Canyon, that was looking really good. I didn't see hardly any smoke in there. I'd like to get down there. They're still saying no homes destroyed or structures, but locals and the fireman that was there, the captain was there, said that little mother-in-law cottage, the last home going down Canyon on the right, there was a mother-in-law cottage that sat off behind the backyard. There goes a brush patrol, too. They said it was a little, couple hundred square feet. They said it was really nicely done. The guy that lives there, they said is really good, really handy with the woodwork, carpentry, and building, and that he really made a nice little building there, structure. But they say he's not really too much upset that he's going to build another one, probably make it even better. That's what happens when you build something. You get done, you go, I should have done this, and I could have done this. So when he builds another one, he'll probably make all the changes that he wish he would have done. Or if he's really good, I see guys that are really good, they don't need to make changes. It's all on their head. They get it right when they build it. When I build stuff, I usually have like, oh darn, I wish I could have done it this way, or you learn a lot when you build it the first time. But a lot of these guys have been doing it for so long, they had that foresight to build it the right way. Everything turns the right way and everything swings out the right way, and they don't have to back up and change things while they're sawing it. But this looks like maybe a chief coming down here. Usually these pickup trucks, Corona Fire Department, it's a chief. The chiefs drive around a lot. Same with the patrol guys. They're constantly checking on their troops and they're looking up, evaluating what the fire's doing. And then they go have a powwow. All the chiefs and the hand crew guys will get together and they do a little mind meld on what the plan is. The chief, I think, he takes all the input in and he talks to his kind of like strategy guys. A lot of these guys are older. They've been here they got a lot of experience and they'll put their input in and they'll come up with a plan. And they're not wrong very often. Those guys, there's a whole science and skill set on doing this, and these guys are very good, excellent at what they do. And when you start talking tactics with them, I've been following them about 35 years, 40 years, and they still lose me. I'll try and what's this, what's that? They go so not really fast, but they're getting into the weeds on the technology and the science, the weather. They lose me pretty quick, but they're really good about explaining it. They'll start dumbing it down to my level where I can understand it, and then I can catch back up to them a little bit. But there's a whole science. They talk about how the fire will get in alignment with the topography, which is bad. When it gets into alignment, it'll burn faster, and it's more of a dangerous fire. There's a whole different terminology world and science world that most of us never seen, and we never experienced it because we just see fire going up the cliff or going up the mountain or crossing a riverbed. But these guys are looking at like, that's good, that's bad, this is what's going to happen over here. They're really good about, if they have the time, I don't try and bug them. In fact, I usually let them walk up to me, especially with COVID, but we stay 8-10 feet apart to talk. I try to. Sometimes they'll come closer, but I try and give them that space. I really don't want to give them COVID, because if you take down one guy, it's his whole crew gets quarantined, and if he's from a station, they quarantine the whole station, and then it's 2 weeks. And right now, we need every fireman we can get, firefighter. I'm old school. I say fireman, but Tracy always busts my chops because it's firefighter now, which is true. I've seen some females up here and female firefighters. And over at the Apple Fire, I see a couple. It's still mostly a male deal, the alpha males. You got to be an adrenaline junkie for these guys. Really dig it. That you can't have somebody that's not really an alpha male or female. Somebody that's really a go-getter, likes hard work, isn't scared by it. These guys are so brave. Right in front of me here. Oh well, it's towards the right. Yesterday when I was up here, we could hear boulders coming down. I didn't know. I thought what I heard. I walked over to the fireman guy and I said, "Are you here when I'm here?" And he said, "Yeah, those have been boulders been coming down for days." And I was like, "Yeesh!" And his guys are right there at the bottom. One of the boulders hits them, they're dead. And the flaming logs are coming down. They call them rollouts. It's like the worst case scenario for these guys because they're used to fire in front of them or up on the ridge above them. They're not used to. It's really steeper. I've never seen rollouts before. And it's kind of, these guys know about it, but they, it's one of the hazards they have, and they're over there standing in front of the houses, which to me is crazy, but that's what they do. People say, well, they make a lot of money. They make too much money. It's like, go stand in front of that house and watch boulders go flying by you, and flaming logs coming down. Tell me how much they make too much money. They're risking their lives over there, right there. I won't want to walk into there, but I'm still a little leery of that, and I can't drive in there because it's so tight. But I really don't want to get in there and distract them, or get hit by a boulder, a flying boulder, or even the rocks. Even a football-sized rock coming down from 400 feet is going to ruin your day. It's not going to buff out. So that's from. Oh, Forest Homes here. It looks like another chief coming over. They've got a good view up here. Montclair, yeah, that's another chief. They may be having a powwow over here. There's a little lookout behind me. They may be coming up for a powwow. Wait, I can't say powwow, I don't think. They're coming for a mind meld. I don't want to get in trouble for saying everybody's on the warpath. It seems like for PC words. So wait, I just used another one. Warpath. Everybody's on. I'll just shut up. I'm old school, and sometimes I just, like, we call it header. It's supposed to be plume. Header's got, I guess, a sexual connotation. Oh, what else can we say? My cutters I use, they're diagonal cutters. We call them dikes. That's what they're called. We've been called that for 80 years. But the word now is you got to use the full word, diagonal cutters. They're the little clippers we use for electronics and tie wraps. But I even was working with a girl that she was lesbian, and I said it. She said, and everybody started laughing. She said, "Don't worry about it, honey." She said, "That's what I call it too." You know, everybody knew that the word was dykes. But you got to worry when you're working for somebody. You know, somebody could turn you into HR for that. But most of the people are cool that I used to work around. Like I said, she was lesbian, and she just started laughing too, because she knew that I went like, "Oops." She said, "Don't worry about it." No big deal. No biggie in military. No biggie. Military. Here's an engine here. You know, just waiting, brush protection. San Jose. It looked like he was looking at a cell phone. Maybe he's got, I didn't think that cell, let me look at my phone when I get down here. I didn't think the cell would go up here this far, but what do we got here? No, it doesn't. I got like one bar, so he may be getting cell where he's gonna call the kids or call the wife and say, "Here we are." You know, those poor guys have been stuck up here. And Rosie on our Facebook group, Redlands Buzz, she's got the blessing to get up care packages. You can't get into the fire camp because it's closed, but she's got the blessing to collect everybody who wants to help out. I know everybody wants to do something to help them. So they're getting little like baby wipes and lipstick, or not lipstick, chapstick, and you know, like toiletries, foot powder, and they're gonna take them and take the little care packages into the base camp, fire camp, and hand those out. So that's really good with Rosie and everybody helping her. The other thing I told her, and some people also mentioned it, like every day I've been having to eat these throat lozenges. These I forget who makes them. What did I do with that? But also nasal, those individual bottles of nasal rinse, because my nose is still plugged up from. It's feeling a lot better today with the nasal rinses, getting the smoke out. We were choking on smoke for several days, over here especially. Oakland side wasn't that bad 1 or 2 days. Over here it's been really smoky for days. And that's the smoke that's coming down on Redlands, Highland. Crestline said they're getting ash and smoke. San Bernardino, Loma Linda. It's gotten a little better. Today when I woke up, it was still, I think we had a marine layer going a little bit. It was overcast, which is nice. It's nice when it's overcast. You don't get the sun baking you up here. When I first started, it was 115 at the house. Last Saturday when it started, it was 115. Yeah, that was a death march. Up here it was like 105 or 100 degrees. Oak Glen was. I got to use a little restroom here, and then I wonder what time I have. 14 minutes. I usually run them in 20-minute blocks. I'll just restart it. I can string these together later. But thanks for watching, and part 5 will be next.